about the Mitt Romney op-ed. What's your reaction to it? If you heard about it, he wrote an op-ed.
Well, I wish Mitt could be more of a team player. You know, I'm surprised he did it this quickly. I was expecting something, but I was surprised he did it this quickly. And, you know, look, I endorsed him. He thanked me very profusely. It was very nice. But I am surprised because we've done a lot. And he actually says it. I read his op-ed. He said it. You know, he agrees, and I don't think he would be able, I don't think anybody would have been able to do the tax cuts like I did. We got the greatest tax cuts ever. We got Anwar approved in the tax cuts. We got rid of the individual mandate, which essentially is repeal and replace of Obamacare, because that case from Texas should win in the Supreme Court. I mean, it only was kept, Obamacare. It was only kept because of the individual mandate. Now that that's gone, I don't know how you can possibly keep it. So that's repeal and replace. John McCain voted against it. You know, after campaigning for many years, John McCain voted against it. He went thumbs down, and that was the end of that. For many years, it was repeal and replace, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning, he went thumbs down. So I'm a very flexible guy. We were part of that lawsuit, as you know. And a great judge, highly respected from Texas, said the individual mandates are. That means that we should win at the Supreme Court, where this case will go. Now, when we do, we will sit down with the Democrats and we will come up with great health care. Far better. Far better. We'll have everything included. We'll have everything included. Far better, because Obamacare is too expensive. The premiums are way too high, and the deductibles don't exist. I mean, the deductibles, you can't even use it. The deductible's so high, unless you get hit by a tractor, you can't even use it. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. The deductibles are so high. Obamacare is a tremendous failure. But now that we won the individual mandate, and that's it, which, by the way, was by far the most unpopular, it was by far the most unpopular thing in Obamacare. So with Mitt Romney, I'd love him to be a team player. Possibly he won't be. I'm surprised he acted so quickly. I gave him an endorsement. I was happy that he won. In Utah, I have great popularity in Utah. I love the people of Utah. I did something for them that nobody else would have done. That has to do with their parks, as you know. That was a big day, a big thing. And we did that for a very special person who is now going to be retiring after 42 years. You know who I'm talking about. Our great friend, our great senator, who's really a spectacular man. And also for Mike Lee, who really pressed it very hard. So Orrin Hatch and Mike Lee. And the people of Utah really appreciate what I did for them. Hundreds and hundreds of miles of park that they'll be able to now use as opposed to not. And so I was surprised at Mitt Romney, but I just hope he's going to be a team player. And if he's a team player, that'll be great. I will say this. If he fought really hard against President Obama, like he does against me, he would have won the election. Does that make sense to you? If he fought the way he fights me, I'm telling you, he would have won the election. But I think he's going to end up being a team player. I think he agrees with many of the things that we've done and many of the things that we have in mind, and we'll see what happens.